And here we go, Colin Baker's last serial, The Ultimate Foe. Part 13.
I came as soon as I could, my lady.
Thank you, Keeper.
I feel like I'm watching Gallifreyan
Doctor,
Law and
do you
Order.
have any further evidence in your defense?
My lady, with all due respect, have we not seen enough? Are you not forgetting Article 7 and the irrefutable charge which faces the Doctor, that of genocide?
I shall deal with that charge in due course, Valliard. Now kindly don't interrupt me again. Doctor, do you have any further evidence in your defense?
No, my lady, but I would point out that much of the rail yard's so-called evidence was a farrago of distortion, which would have had Ananias Baron Munchausen and every other famous liar blushing down to their very toenails. Much of the evidence was not as I remembered.
Do you still maintain the Matrix has been tampered with?
Yes, madam, I do. All I do not yet understand is who did it and why.
Your accusation would be laughable if it were not so outrageous. However, as you see, I have summoned the Keeper of the Matrix, Keeper.
My lady.
You have heard the Doctor's allegations. Is it at all possible for the data stored within the Matrix to be tampered with in any way?
Quite impossible, my lady. No one may enter the Matrix without the key of Rassilon.
And by whom may the key be used?
Qualified people for inspection once in a millennium, perhaps, to replace a transductor.
The keys can be copied, you'll agree.
The key of Rassilon never leaves my possession.
Except when it's in the hands of those qualified people.
This is a ridiculous allegation, my lady. The Doctor is challenging the evidence of the Matrix on the grounds that it has been tampered with. A charge that he is totally unable to substantiate.
That is accepted. Doctor, wild accusations of malfeasance do not constitute a defense.
The Matrix can be physically penetrated. The Keeper has admitted as much. Now, much of the evidence you saw was totally at variance with my own memory. Therefore, it has been deliberately distorted.
And who would do such a thing, even if it were possible?
Somebody who wants my head.
And that's a lot of
Such
people.
as the Valliard.
Dibber, what's happened to your voice, lad?
I'm not Dibber. Neither am I a lad. What's more, there's nothing wrong with my voice. As a matter of total disinterest, who are you?
Oh, Sabalom Glitz. And you?
Melanie, known as Mel.
Are they all like you here?
I don't know. Should we go and find out?
There is only one way to rebut the evidence of the Matrix, Doctor, and that is to produce witnesses who can support your version of events. Can you do that?
Well, of course I can't. You know I can't.
Then we must accept the Valliard's evidence.
Any witnesses I might produce are scattered all over the universe and all through time. How can I find them now? Procrastination, my lady. The Doctor's only... Glitz, what are you doing here?
I was sent, wasn't I? Not my idea, mind.
Same here. What have you been up to?
Be silent. Who sent you?
Now that's the beak, is it? They all look the same, don't they? Carved out of something hard and nasty.
You said you were sent here, Sabalon Glitz. By whom?
By me, madam.
Oh, no, now I really am finished.
Who's that?
Just one of my oldest enemies.
And
This
friends.
is entirely irregular. Who are you, sir?
I'm known as the Master. And as you see, I speak to you from within the Matrix. Proof, if any be needed, that not only qualified people can enter here.
But you haven't the key of Rassilon.
I got a very good copy keeper, just as the Doctor said was possible.
This is an independent inquiry appointed appointed by the High Council to investigate serious charges.
Madam, I know I've followed the trial with great interest and indeed amusement, but now I must intervene for the sake of justice.
Justice? Pay no attention, madam. He has no concept of what justice is. He'd see me dead tomorrow.
Gladly, Doctor. But I'm not prepared to countenance a rival.
My lady, I must propose a immediate adjournment.
I'm sorry, Vanguard. The evidence for the prosecution is completed. The ball, as the doctor might say, is out of your court.
Doctor, I've sent you 2 star witnesses. I knew you'd need them.
With due respect, Sagacity, the matter of witnesses is for you to decide. We've seen enough to know that Glitz is an admitted criminal. Any testimony from him must therefore be dubious in the extreme.
But not from me. I'm as truthful, honest, and about as boring as they come.
This court is not for the moment impugning your integrity, young lady.
Let's have a Glitz speak.
Criminals have been known to speak the truth, Valliard, especially when their own interests are not at stake.
My point, my lady, is that this person, who calls himself the Master, whoever he might be, should not be permitted to produce surprise witnesses.
You pretend not to know me, do you? I'm surprised by the shortness of Valliard's memory.
The doctor may, in his defense, call witnesses to rebut your evidence, after which you may cross-examine them. That is the procedure, Valliard.
My lady.
If I might intercede.
You have no part in these proceedings, sir.
Corporeally, of course not, but I'm present and enjoying myself enormously.
Doctor, please examine your witnesses.
Yes, madam.
This is real maconite, you know. Worth a few grumsits today, Your Honour.
Yes.
I could make you a fair offer on a job lot. Do you a very
Yes.
good deal. What?
You were sent here by the Master.
Yeah, well, he's a business partner, so to speak. We've had a few nice little tickles.
This
together.
court is not interested in your sordid business deals, Glitz.
Very good, Doctor. Keep him to the point.
When we last met, you expressed interest in a box.
Right?
What was in that box?
Well, I don't know. Scientific stuff, so he said. Stuff the sleepers had been nicking from the Matrix for years. The Matrix? My Matrix? Right. Well, it seems the sleepers had found a way to break into the Matrix, and they were creeping off all this high-tech info to take back to Andromeda.
But they were operating from Earth.
Of course! That was their cover, wasn't it? They knew that the Time Lords eventually would trace the leak.
He's lying.
My lady.
I don't think so, Stackyard. It all begins to make very good sense.
That's it, Doc. Now we're getting at the dirt.
Doc. Carry on, Glitz. What happened next?
Well, eventually the Time Lords did suss out the leak, so they wanted to wipe out all the sleepers. And they used this,
Magnetron?
That's it!
Well, that can only be done by an order in High Council.
Of course, Doctor. To protect their own secrets, they drew the Earth and its constellation billions of miles across space.
Causing the fireball which nearly destroyed the planet.
With confidence in the High Council's planning. The robot recovery mission from Andromeda sped past Earth, out into space. Gallifreyan secrets were saved. Except that at the first intimation of the coming fireball, the Andromedans were able to set up a survival chamber for the sleepers.
So that's why Earth was renamed Ravelox. That sanctimonious gang of hypocrites were covering their tracks.
Exactly. It takes time, Doctor, but eventually you get there.
They put an ancient culture like the Earth to the sword for the sake of a few miserable, filthy scientific advances.
Big market for them, Doctor, so he said. Worth a lot of cropsits.
All my travellings throughout the universe, I have battled against evil, against power-mad conspirators. I should have stayed here.
I love this line coming up.
The oldest civilization. Decadent, degenerate, and rotten to the core. Power-mad conspirators, Daleks, Sontarans, Cybermen. They're still in the nursery compared to us. 10 million years of absolute power. That's what it takes to be really corrupt.
That's my favorite line.
Unseemly outbursts! If I hadn't visited Ravelox, I then thought of it, the High Council would have kept this outrage carefully buried, as presumably they have for several centuries.
I must agree. You have an endearing habit of blundering into these things, Doctor, and the High Council took full advantage of your blunder.
Explain that.
They made a deal with the Valliard, or as I've always known it, the Doctor, to adjust the evidence. In return for which, He was promised the remainder of the Doctor's regeneration.
This is clear. Just a minute! Did you call him the Doctor?
There is some evil in all of us, Doctor, even you. The Valiant is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation. And I may say you do not improve with age.
What? I've seen New Who. This
revelation should halt this trial immediately.
that doesn't make sense. That means it happened around 11 and 12.
Both prosecutor and defendant.
The single purpose of this trial
Or no, 10 and 11.
is guilt or otherwise on the basis of the evidence that has been presented. Anything else is for the moment irrelevant.
What?
Doctor!
Valiant!
Please, come on! Well, we need him!
Time!
What if 10-2
He's gone!
is the Valiard?
Door. He must have had a key. What? The 7th entrance to the Matrix. Well, quickly, man, open it. He must be brought back.
Because it's a meta crisis.
You'll never find him. The Matrix is a micro-universe.
Don't go, Doctor!
I must, perhaps nothing in my life has ever been so important. Come on, Glitz!
Doctor!
Be silent! Come, let us return to the trial room.
Why? There's nobody to try
Come
anymore.
along, both of you.
Oh, what an unpleasant journey. What an unpleasant place. Glitz? Glitz?
Why is it always British children seeing the scariest thing ever?
Oh, I can't believe you're in there. Glitz! No! What's going on? Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether what just happened to me was real or an illusion.
Looks like someone's had a go at you.
Oh, would you mind?
What?
Water.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We're not in the real world any longer, Sablon Glitz. Whatever attacked me was in that barrel. There. What was it in my mind?
How can we be in a different world? We just stepped through a door, that's all.
Into the Matrix, where the only logic is that there isn't any logic.
Yeah, I knew this was a mistake. My grip on reality is not too good at the best of times. Here, this is for you. Now, if you don't mind telling me, how do I get out of here?
It's from the Master.
I know. I've just given it to you. He said it would be useful.
Tells me where the Valiant has his base.
The Fantasy Factory, proprietor J.J. Chambers.
So that's where he got to. So why is the Master helping me?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll find out. I'm off.
Oh, come on. I want you to meet my darker side. I've done my bit. Pop in and say hello. You'll be perfectly safe.
What's going on?
Assuming I accept what you say about the evidence against the Doctor, how much of it had been contrived?
For a lie to work, madam, it must be shrouded in truth. Therefore, most of what you saw was true.
Then the young woman, the one who died, was that true?
Ah, the delightful Miss Purple Gillian Brown. That was clever of the Valeyard, exploiting the affection the Doctor had for her. Then, of course, Valeyard would know precisely how the Doctor felt.
Then she lives.
She's a queen, set up on high by that warmongering fool of Connors. Gentlemen will not keep the Doctor alive.
Isn't there anything we can do to help?
You'll catch cold lying there.
You're a hard man, Doctor.
I could have been killed. Not when you're wearing a Mark 7 Postilion. Life preserver.
Yeah, well, whoever threw that harpoon didn't know that. So much for illusions. Anyway, I thought it was you he was trying to kill.
Yes, he's playing games. Wants to humiliate me first.
Oh, I see. He humiliates you by throwing harpoons at me. Makes a lot of sense.
Your presence here makes his task more difficult. He knows that. He also knows that together we can fight him.
Look, Doctor, I'm a small-time crook with small-time ambitions, one of which is to stay alive. I'm sorry, Doctor. I wish you every good luck, but I'm on my way. I've done my bit.
If you leave and I die, what future do you think you'll have? As the only witness to events here, the Valeyard will be forced to seek you out and to kill you.
All right. I'll help you.
Good man. Now, button your life preserver, and let's get on with it.
In all my experience, I have never before had to conclude a case in both the absence of the accused and the prosecutor.
One and the same person, madam.
So you said, but can you prove that?
I know them both. But I suggest you question the High Council. They set up this travesty of a trial, making a scapegoat of the Doctor to conceal their own involvement.
Is there any reason why I should accept that allegation from a renegade Time Lord?
Yes, if you're concerned with learning the truth.
What is your interest in this matter? Not, I think, concern for the Doctor.
Oh, indeed not. The Doctor's well matched against himself. One must destroy the other.
How utterly evil.
Thank you. I think I lay a shade of odds on the Valeyard that the possibility of their mutual destruction must exist. That would be perfect.
You're despicable.
Am I to take it that some base desire for revenge is your motive for interfering?
There's nothing purer and more unsullied, madam, than the desire for revenge. But if you follow the metaphor, I've thrown a pebble into the water, perhaps killing two birds with one stone, and causing ripples that'll rock the High Council to its foundations. What more could a renegade wish for?
How do you do? I think we're expected.
Are you sure we're in the right place?
Yes. We'd like to see the proprietor, please.
Do you have an appointment, sir? Mr. Chambers only sees people by appointment. Most particular about appointments is our Mr. Chambers.
I think you'll find we're expected.
What is your name, sir?
I am known as the Doctor. And this is Mr. Savalom Glitz.
If this Valeyard wants you dead, he's got a funny way of going about it.
I've told you, it's called humiliation. Could you hurry up, please? We haven't got all day.
There are procedures to follow, sir. Necessary routines to be completed. Even when I've found your names, there are many forms to be inscribed before you may move on to the next stage of processing. Processing is very important in this establishment. I'm sure that even you will understand that such things cannot be rushed, sir.
Oh, I don't know. I've always been a bit of an iconoclast by nature.
You can't go in there, not without an appointment! Ah, Doctor.
Ah! I found it out.
Well, at least you're
The Valiard is the Dream Lord,
You're lookalike
but
out there.
probably regenerated.
Here's the exception. The very junior Mr. Popplewick isn't permitted to expect any.
Clever.
Oh,
Clever.
what's he talking about?
I think it's called bureaucracy. I prefer to call it order. And the holy writ of order is procedure. I'm sure you agree.
Oh, yeah, of course.
For example, you wish to see the proprietor. Now, the correct procedure is to make an appointment.
But we're already expected.
But the junior Mr. Popplewick isn't allowed to expect anyone.
Well, you knew we were coming. Why didn't you give him the nod?
And upset the procedure. The junior Mr. Popplewick has his pride too.
So I don't understand any of this. Here we are waiting to duck a terminal knuckle sandwich, and all this screed's going on about is whether we got an appointment or not.
Is there no way to expedite the procedure?
Expedite? I am a senior clerk, sir. To me, the procedure is sacrosanct. My work is a celebration of all that is perfect. Why speed perfection?
Because your employer wants me dead.
You seem to have found the one little weakness in our procedure, sir. Would you sign this? A consent form, sir.
Alright, I'm pushing publish on my third part of my story right now.
Our blessed proprietor, Mr. J.J. Chambers.
Alright, I just pushed publish.
Remaining lives.
Obviously, the Valiard doesn't trust the High Council to honor this.
Man, you're a dead man.
We're in the Valiard's domain. He can try and kill me anytime he likes. I'll sign my remaining lives away to Mr. J.J. Chambers.
Are you sure about this?
Absolutely. Now, can we see your proprietor?
The waiting room is through there. You will be summoned as soon as your signature has been verified.
This is madness.
Not if it precipitates my meeting with the Valiard. This is a very odd printing. Where are the hopelessly out-of-date magazines? Oh, Blitz. Blitz? What have you done with him?
Look to your own predicament, Doctor.
Whoa, it's like the Magician's Apprentice
It's an illusion. I deny it.
without the exploding thing.
Not this time.
This isn't happening.
I think.
What the? Doctor? Bye, Doctor.
And here's Colin's last episode. Bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum. The Trial of the Time Lord by Pip and Jane Baker, Part 14. I'll put this one on first. I'm sorry, it's kind of funny seeing him kicking.
What a way to go. All in all, he wasn't a bad old Roger. Honest, of course. Still, nobody's perfect.
Absolutely. Nobody is.
Not even a Valiant. Great cosmic protector of grafters and dissemblers, save me! Save me! A voice from the grave! Oh, a grave voice.
Bad joke? But everything round here is a bad joke.
No, Mum. But I saw your ankle armor. I don't get it.
Oh, do concentrate, Glitz. How often must I tell you? We're not dealing with reality.
Why waste your breath on that simple-minded oaf? You cannot speak as though reality is a one-dimensional concept. Fortunately, there is a reality that you and I can both agree on. The ultimate reality.
Death?
The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns.
Puzzles the will. Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
I really must curb these urges. I've no wish to be contaminated by your whims and idiosyncrasies.
Quite so. But what I don't comprehend...
He's over here, Doc. Slippery customer, your other persona.
What I don't comprehend is why you want me dead. No. Now let me rephrase that. It would satisfy my curiosity to know why you should go to such extraordinary lengths to kill me.
Come now, Doctor. How else can I obtain my freedom? Operate as a complete entity, unfettered by your side of my existence. Only by ridding myself of you and your misplaced morality, your constant crusading, your
Idiotic honesty?
oath, microbe.
Pardon me for trying to help. I'm neutral in this setup, you know.
Only by releasing myself from the misguided maxims that you nurture can I be free.
Sounds to me like Armageddon's making you, Doc.
With you destroyed, and no longer able to constrain me, and with unlimited access to the Matrix, there will be nothing on my reach.
Where are you off to now?
To trace the Valiant.
But he was here!
Illusion, Glitz, the shadow, not the substance. But if you don't want to come, you can stay here and build sandcastles. I'm sure if you think hard enough, you can conjure up a bucket and spade.
Tell you something. If you two meet face to face, 5 Grotzies gives you 10. He's first past the checkered flag. What's that? Back pedal! Another illusion. Let's go. See this fog? Asphyxiating nerve gas. This is in deadly earnest. Run!
He can't just sit here and do nothing. We've got to help him.
The Doctor chose to enter the Matrix. We are not empowered to interfere.
If I may, my lady. You are applying logical thought to a situation that recognizes no logic.
Give me the key to the Matrix. I'm going in there.
Bit rude. Don't trip, Mel.
Welcome, Doctor.
A house master? Really?
Well, I never thought I'd welcome the sight of you.
Will not happen again.
What puzzles me is why it's happening now.
The explanation's quite simple. I want the Valiard eliminated, and you're the most likely candidate to achieve that.
Hang on. You told me this flashy, fair-haired personage was the one you wanted to croak.
With the Doctor as my enemy, I always have the advantage. But the Valiard, the distillation of all that's evil in you, untainted by virtue, the composite of your every dark thought is a different proposition. Additionally, he's infuriated me by threatening to deny me the pleasure of personally bringing about your destruction. And so he must pay the price. You, Glitz, shall help me to collect.
Would I be wrong in thinking that the Doctor will soon be needing a Macronite overcoat?
Nothing so cruel. He's merely being reduced to a catatonic state.
Cut a what?
The violent assault on his senses will trip a defensive mechanism, and his brain will switch off
To become a zombie?
temporarily. Long enough for my purposes. This should prove an irresistible bait for the Valiard.
You Time Lords take the cake. Talk about devious. Compared to you lot, I'm transparent as crystal. Poor old doctor.
Stop slobbering.
You really are a second-rate adversary. Did you imagine I'd be lured by such a transparent ploy?
This could all be an illusion.
Stay here and find out.
Oh. Oh.
Doctor! Where are you, Doctor? Doctor!
Well?
Doctor, is that you?
Yes. Yes, of course it's me. Where are you?
This way. Quickly.
What are you doing in the Matrix?
Forget the questions. You're alive, that's all that matters. Now please follow me, before it's too late.
Where are we going?
To get you out of this unholy mess.
The TARDIS is still green for some reason.
Doctor, trust me. Don't you see that until you've cleared your name, you're no better than the Valiard is? A renegade on the run. An outcast.
Quite the pragmatist, aren't you? Quite right, of course. Let's get it over with.
Doctor, you owe the court an apology.
What if I do? Then it is unreservedly offered, madam.
The charge of genocide is based on your own evidence.
And refuted by the doctor.
Seems you have a champion in this young woman.
I was there, remember?
Would you accept her as an impartial witness?
I would trust Mel with my life.
Good. Keep her. Is that a true record of what occurred?
What shall I say, Doctor?
Just tell the truth.
Yes, but I don't want her to twist it like the Valiard did.
The truth can't harm me.
That's what happened.
Is it your contention that the Doctor was solely responsible for devising the scheme we are presently reviewing on the Matrix?
Oh, absolutely. Without the Doctor, we'd have all ended up on the Vervoid's revolting compost heap.
A unique solution.
Out of this world.
An appropriate expression, wouldn't you say, my lords?
Appropriate. Something's going wrong here. I can sense it. You said the truth couldn't harm you. Yet I've a feeling I'm attending a lynching party. Tell them you had no choice, Doctor.
There's always a choice.
Doctor, you stand accused of genocide. The evidence is incontrovertible. The verdict is guilty. Your life is therefore forfeit. Take him from this court.
No! Leave him alone!
Unless we are prepared to sacrifice our lives for the good of all, then evil and anarchy will spread like the plague. Rule of law must prevail. Madam, I accept your verdict.
been tricked into believing that that was the real trial room. The Valeyard's illusion has deliberately taken advantage of the Doctor's romantic nature. He's convinced he must sacrifice himself, and you're content to let him.
We cannot interfere.
Well, I can.
Better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known.
Never mind the Sydney Carton heroics. You're not signing on as ambassador yet.
Go away, Mel, go away.
That trial was an illusion.
You've ruined everything.
Ruined? I've just saved your neck.
All you've done is keep me from a confrontation with the Valeyard.
But you were on your way to
To a death chamber as a result of a bogus trial and my noble act of self-sacrifice.
You knew it was an illusion. How come?
Because of you, Mel. In your evidence, you testified you'd heard me deny the charge of genocide, but you weren't even there. You hadn't been inside the courtroom at that time. And with your extraordinary ability of total recall, you wouldn't have made such an elementary mistake.
Okay, I'm not deaf.
The Valeyard overestimates his own cleverness. Like all megalomaniacs, he is consumed with his own vanity. Naturally inflame his bloated ego. Come on.
Where?
To find Mr. J.J. Chambers.
I want you to rejoin the Doctor and lead him to the Valeyard.
No chance. You don't catch me going near no more quill pens again. I'm just going to stay here till I can get back to my own kind and some honest thieving.
Splendid, splendid. Listen to me. Are you listening, Severum Glitz?
Not really. I was just wondering how many grots it's this little bauble costume.
Perhaps this will appeal to your crashed soul.
Oh, truly a wondrous sight for a connoisseur such as myself. There isn't a living creature in the universe I couldn't bribe with this little lot.
Yours if you follow my orders.
I still reckon we'd be better off outside the Matrix.
Oh, you do.
Well, it seems to me we should try and draw the Valeyard out to where the odds would be more even.
And how do we do that?
I hate to say this, but use you as bait.
Assuming that it's me he's after.
Oh, come on. Just look at the elaborate lengths he's gone to already.
Yes, they were elaborate, weren't they? Perhaps too elaborate.
There are times in our relationship when I feel an interpreter wouldn't cover this.
Don't go through that door.
Sticky fingers, Mr. Glitz. The Matrix memory bank. I thought this was destroyed on Ravenox.
That was a duplicate. This is the master tape.
Case 3, 4, 5, and 6. All the secrets of the Matrix.
Not all. The primitive phases 1 and 2 have been relegated to the archives. Now kindly put it back and do as you're told.
I'd give my soul for
for this.
You would. Would you indeed?
You'd like to negotiate, Mr. Popperwick? Sir?
Look at this now.
A list of names.
Of Time Lords attending my trial. Every member of the Ultimate Court of Appeal, the Supreme Guardians of Gallifreyan law.
Why are they all crossed through?
You notice something else? The handwriting.
It's yours.
I really must protest at this unseemly behavior. You are contravening all known procedure.
Due to my not inconsiderable powers of persuasion, this minion has agreed to take us to his boss, the mysterious Mr. J.J. Chambers.
Will you lead the way, Mr. Popplewhip?
No, not through there. Mr. Chambers is across the courtyard, sir.
If he isn't, there'll be one bureaucrat less in the Matrix.
Just a minute. You won't be needing this, Mr. Popplewhip.
Very astute of you, Doc. You should live a long time.
I already have. Over 900 years.
What's the secret?
Secret, Mel? What secret? You know, I am beginning to realize that I have misjudged Mr. J.J. Chambers, alias the Balliard.
Not for the first time. In fact, how you've managed to survive 900 odd years beats me.
We had an agreement. I've done my bit. I've delivered the doctor. The Matrix memory tapes first.
Oh, very well.
Tell the doctor I didn't sell him down the Milky Way for nothing.
I'm sure that will be a consolation to him in his final moments.
Very astute, Samuel Glitz. But this is loaded.
What's that for? I thought we trusted each other. I was on my way to see you.
My trust of you is in equal proportion to your trust of me. TARDIS is over there.
Such craftsmanship! Pride in every cog and piston!
Doctor, there is another priority. The Balliard, remember?
How could I forget?
Where's Blitz?
I don't know. Decided to stay outside on guard, perhaps, eh, Mr. Popplewhip?
Yes. I perceive Mr. Chambers is not here. I shall go and find him for you, sir.
Yes. Yes, you do that, Mr. Popplewhip.
If I knew what you were looking for, maybe I could help.
I'm awfully sorry, sir. I don't seem to be able to locate Mr. Chambers.
Yes. Well, I rather thought you might have some trouble. Who's that? Don't just stand there, Mel! Help me!
Unhand me! Stop!
There.
This is preposterous. You will regret this. Mr. Chambers will demand an explanation for this iniquitous, this wicked behavior.
Well, let's ask him, shall we?
How did you know?
The performance was too grotesque to be real. I have never been able to resist a touch of the Grand Guignol. Have we?
You'll soon have ample scope to indulge in melodrama.
Really? Why?
A megabyte modem.
MESA,
Amazing.
an acronym for Microwave Amplification and Stimulated Emission of Radiation.
But what does it do?
Yes, Doctor. Enlighten us. Disseminate the news.
A particle disseminator?
The ultimate weapon. Even even subatomic particles, gravitons, quarks, tau mesons, all completely disseminated.
Destroy us and you destroy yourself. What's the joke?
I just realized. My writing, our writing, a hit list.
But how? These Time Lords, or Supreme Guardians of the Law, as you called them, are all in the trial room. And we're in the Matrix.
Matrix screen! Mel, get back to the trial room, tell them to disconnect the Matrix screen and evacuate the court.
But I can't.
Do it, or there'll be mass murder!
My lady, an urgent message. High Council has been deposed. Insurrectionists are running amok on Gallifrey.
Thank you, Keeper. That is the news I've been awaiting. Listen carefully. I have an edict to deliver. Somewhere the Valiant and the Doctor are engaged in their squalid duel. With luck they'll kill each other, but that is a mere coincidental occurrence. What I have to impart is of vital importance to all of you. Now that Gallifrey is collapsing into chaos, none of you will be needed. Your office will be abolished. Only I can impose order. I have control of the Matrix. To disregard my commands will be to invite summary execution. Now that you've purged that from your system, can we get on? Load the cassette. You really are the archetypal Philistine. Moments such as this should be savored.
What's happening?
Or to oh, so far.
You are elevating futility to a high art. There's nothing you can do to prevent the catharsis of spurious morality.
If you could compile this monstrosity, it follows that I should be able to unravel it.
Disconnect the Matrix.
Cannot switch off without the cube, but he's not present.
Then get out of here quickly. Your lives depend on it.
Eureka! And you said it couldn't be immobilized.
What have you done?
Induce an antiphase signal to the telemetry unit. The whole system should self-destruct.
Blundering imbecile. Triggered a ray phase shift. Will make a massive feedback into here.
No!
It's too late.
Let me see, where were we? I was about to be sentenced, I believe.
All charges against you are dismissed, Doctor. We owe you an immense debt of gratitude, which I can partly repay by telling you that the young woman, Miss Papagillion Brown, is alive and well and living as a warrior queen with King Yrcanos. Now then, once law and order have
Glad
been
she had a
restored,
happy ending.
a new High Council will need to be elected. Can I persuade you to stand for Lord President again?
I'm a
He's going to suggest you stand.
Indeed I am. And were there such a thing as an intergalactic postal vote, you'd have mine.
I shouldn't broadcast that if I were you.
Oh, you could do me one small favour if you would.
Simply name it.
When the Matrix is restored, you can do what you like with the Master, but exercise leniency with Sabalon Glitz. He's not beyond redemption.
Just don't let him anywhere near the crown jewels.
Gallifrey doesn't have any crown jewels.
Right, racing glass and carrot juice.
Carrot juice?
And then we'll get you back on the exerciser.
You know, I think I was rash turning down that offer of the presidency. Carrot juice, carrot juice, carrot juice.
Prepare the Matrix Keeper. Requisition anything you need.
My lady.
Am I missing something here? I thought Ultimate Foe was your last episode. List of Doctor Who serials. Let's see, Sixth Doctor. Mysterious Planet, Mind Warp, Terror of the Vervoids, Ultimate Foe. So, where's your regeneration? Okay, Google. Sixth Doctor's regeneration episode. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just continue from where I did. Thank you guys for watching, and I will do a reaction for Time in the Ranny right after this.